guys. So today's video is going to be slightly different than the content that I've been putting up over the past year or so, because instead of talking to you guys about all the stuff that I think you probably shouldn't buy, I'm going to tell you the stuff that I want to buy. For those of you that are new here, I have been on a makeup and beauty no-buy for all of 2019. 2019 is coming to an end, and the big question that I get asked more than literally anything else right now is, will I continue the no-buy? For the longest time, the answer has been, hell yeah, I'm gonna continue. I don't miss buying makeup at all. And I was pretty comfortable with that decision, didn't see an end to it in sight. And then I would say literally over the past week and a half or so, something has stirred up inside of me, some inspiration inside of me has sparked. I was talking to my husband for a while being like, I don't know what I'm gonna do next year. Like, I feel like I need to take the next step in my content and kind of what is the next story I want to tell. I feel like my no-buy has kind of been a story. It's been a journey that you're coming along with me on, and now it's time for a new one. And I think the new one is that I just really want to change my approach to makeup, the style of makeup, the products that I'm into, and as a result, there will be a massive makeup purge coming. Huge. I'm probably going to get rid of 85% to 90% of my collection, because what I have learned throughout the process of this no-buy is that I'm literally bringing zero new makeup into the equation, and I'm still only using about 10 to 15% of my collection. If that is the case, then everything else that I spent a full year not touching needs to go, because I obviously don't want to use it, and I don't believe in holding on to things that I don't love. I don't believe in surrounding myself with things just in case. There's pretty much nothing in my life that is not there by intention and by design. Like I said, today I thought I would tell you guys the products that I am kind of eyeing and considering picking up at the beginning of 2020. I thought it'd be cool to hear what you guys think about these products, if they're any good, if they're not so great, if you guys have comparable products that you think I should check out. But let me give you guys a couple of quick disclaimers before we begin. Much of what's going to be on this list is high-end. I have been getting tons of requests to do more drugstore and affordable makeup tutorials and routines. The only thing is I just don't own a lot of the stuff, and since I aforementioned, I'm not buying any new stuff, I don't have it to do tutorials and things like that around. I will buy some affordable high-end, some affordable / drugstore makeup at the beginning of the new year. But those just aren't the things that are on kind of like the wish list, like what I'm really kind of gassing myself up over. So keep that in mind. Also, number two, I'm not trying to suggest that anything I'm going to pick up is the only product like it. I'm not saying you should buy it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm into, okay? I hope this makes sense. Let's just get started. So I wanted to start off with primers and moisturizers, and there's literally one product. I can't believe I forgot to mention this in the disclaimer portion of the video. This fingernail, still broken. I haven't had time to go get it fixed. I think I'm gonna take all of these nails off. I'm so sick of having long nails. I go through phases with them all the time, and lately, not into it. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. The one product that is in the primers and moisturizers category that I am currently interested in and drawn to is the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Drops. I wanted to pick this up for a couple of reasons. The first reason is that I kind of want to stop putting sunless tanner on my face. I went like 2.5 weeks around the time of my sister's wedding without wearing sunless tan, because I just did not have time to slap a fake tan on, and my skin was in such a good place. Like, I was talking to my husband and I was like, what is going on with my skin? It looks amazing. And then literally a couple days ago, about a week ago, I guess, I put a fake tan on, put it on my face, woke up next day, had a breakout. So I feel like putting this on my skin before I apply makeup will do ultimately what a sunless tan does for my complexion once it's on my face, which is that it just evens out the skin tone a little bit more, and I can use less foundation and less concealer as a result. Also, I like the idea of having a added step in my makeup and beauty routine that has some skin love and skin benefits to it. But on top of that, this also seems like a good multi-purpose product in that, as I said before, I could use it as almost like a primer. I could mix it in with other foundations, and I could also wear this on its own on no makeup days when I just want to run errands and throw something on so I look a little put together. And I would probably do something like add Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter on top of it, and in my mind, it would just be beautiful. So that is the only primer / moisturizer on my list. Number 2 is Complexion. So mostly foundations, concealers, things like that. The first thing I have on the list is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Illuminating Natural Skin Perfector Broad Spectrum SPF 30. That's the whole name, because apparently there are a few different formulations of the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer out now, and apparently they have been reformulated. Now, a little background on this product. It's a cult classic. It's been all the talk of the town for such a long time. I personally have never tried it, but I would love to. And I feel like now would be a good time to do so. The main reason behind wanting to pick this up is that I want to get more into sheer coverage, dewy, luminous skin. Yesterday, I actually tried to film this video, and my skin routine, like the way my makeup looked on my face, was beautiful. And I did the same thing today, and I really like it. I think it's really glowy and really pretty. I did like a really light look on the eyes, like individuals and everything. Learned that I don't think I'm ready to like completely abandon my kind of smoky eye looks. I think that's just my signature. But the skin, I have learned I want to keep a lot lighter and fresher, because in person, it's stunning. I don't feel like it wears a whole lot worse than when I wear a more full coverage or a matte sort of foundation. And I've completely changed my makeup setup, which I will continue to mess with if this one's not ideal, to a more natural, softer light. And I feel like these types of looks just read better on camera, and I'm into it. So this is a classic for a reason. I really want to try it out. I also feel like it would be a good mixer as well. I like to mix foundations together and different products together. So once again, this is something I could throw in with different foundations and try to get a different consistency or share them out a little bit more. Plus, I'm super into what I'm calling the Holy Trinity right now, which is Jamie Page, Elena Davidson, and Samantha Ravindal. Anything they talk about, I'm kind of into. And Jamie Page talked about this, so now I want to try it. Number 2 is the Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation. I feel like this is either going to be amazing or horrible. I don't think I'm going to feel indifferent about it at all. But I have heard that it is a super, super dewy foundation. And again, something I can mix. So I don't see myself throwing away a lot of the foundations that I've continued to hold on to through 2019. I mean, there's not a shit ton of them, but I do have some. But the problem with them is I feel like they're too drying, too matte. They're not the vibe. Like, all I've been wearing for the past few days has been MAC face and body. And while I do want to venture out and try new things, I don't want anything much thicker or heavier or more opaque than that. So taking some of my other foundations that are a little more for full coverage and thicker, like for example, this is the NARS All Day Luminous. I could mix this with like the Natasha Denona or the Laura Mercier and get something a little more glowy and sheer. So that's really the main reason I want to try that. The next foundation is the Armani Power Fabric Foundation, and I'm sure it probably makes zero sense that I'm sitting here being like, I want dewy, glowy, lightweight, luminous, and a matte foundation. But here's my thinking. I don't really want to powder my skin very much anymore, especially during the winter, because I'm oily combination, but during the winter, I dry out quite a bit. So I can get away with little to no powder. Now, as that might change, either when the seasons change or maybe the occasion requires me to powder because I need to wear the makeup for a longer amount of time, I want to be in a position where I can just slap on a good matte foundation, and then my natural oils will kind of come through and it'll still look dewy over time. Matte to me does not mean dry automatically. It doesn't mean totally matte flat foundation. A good one doesn't do that. I've used really good matte foundations in the past. It's been a long time since I've dabbled with them and used them regularly, but I just don't want a dry look anymore. So if I can find a good matte foundation that I can wear completely on its own with zero powder, and I set it really well with like a good hydrating setting spray, in my mind, it's going to do what I want it to do. Also, Nikki Wolf uses the concealer version of this, and whilst, yes, I know the foundation and the concealer are probably not formulated exactly the same, perhaps they will be comparable, and if Nikki Wolf likes it, I'm going to like it. Anyway, that's just my thought on that. The only concealer on the list is the Cover FX Power Play Concealer. I have only used pretty much one concealer all year, and that has been the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I don't really have any complaints with it. I like it a lot. I feel like it's one of those concealers that the more I use it and the more I work with it, the better it gets. But I am interested in trying new ones, especially if there are ones that I don't really have to powder very much or I can use less of. Okay, so fun fact, you guys, I love this natural light setup, but the biggest disadvantage is that the sun moves so much while I'm filming that I feel like the brightness is going to go up and down and up and down in this video, and I don't know how much it's going to bother me when I go to edit it. I hope it doesn't bother you, but please excuse the constant changing of the lighting. Anyway, the Cover FX Power Play Concealer has really, really good reviews. It seems like a lot of people who favored it or spoke highly of it on Sephora and Beautylish seem to feel like it's what they wanted Tarte Shape Tape to be. And I don't really use Tarte Shape Tape, A, because it breaks me out, and B, I just feel like it's drying. Like it's not the vibe I'm going for. So if I could find something that's like Tarte Shape Tape coverage, therefore I can use less of it and the finish is more natural and skin-like, that sounds really good to me. On top of that, Cover FX has a really, really good shade range with its warm, cool, and neutral tones. I feel like I would find the perfect shade match that way. I feel like when you find good tones to work with on your skin, that's one of the main secrets to invisible makeup, like on top of the fact that sheer washes of product and lighter textures of product will do that, so will finding good tone. So finding the perfect match of everything is kind of the goal right now, and this one might help me get it. For cheeks, I want all the damn nude sticks. They have been in my online Beautylish cart for over a year. Well before the no buy started, every time I would go make an order on Beautylish, and I was at that point where I was like, let me throw something else in here so at least the order is like substantial, or let me throw something in here to get free shipping. It was always the nude sticks, and I would just back out the last minute every time. I don't know why. Once again, in keeping with the entire vibe and theme of this video and what I am looking for in products, I want things that are natural, skin-like, glowy, not very heavily on the powder. And the majority of the year, I have used the Kat Von D Fenty. What was that? Oh my gosh. For the majority of the year, I have been using the Fenty matchsticks to contour. And then the past 2 days, I have kind of discovered and fallen back in love with the Tom Ford cream contour kit. I know I put this in a products I regret purchasing video, but I'm kind of finding new ways to use this that I prefer. So now, as a result, I want cream bronzers and cream contours out the wazoo to kind of play with and figure out what my ideal shade range and formula is. Also, same thing with the cream blushes. I have been using a lot of liquid lipstick for blush lately because I don't own any cream blushes. And the formula for nude stick seems to be very popular and very well liked. So I just want to try it, man. Number 2 in the cheek category, I just want new bronzers in general. You will see this when I do this massive declutter I'm talking about. I have, even after the huge purges I've done this year with my collection, probably 15, 16 bronzers still. And yet, even though I'm not buying any new bronzers, even though I have nothing else to distract me from my very own bronzer collection, I am not using them. In fact, I did say as part of the no buy, if I ran out of something, I would buy another one. And that's exactly what I did. I ran out of the Becca, or pretty close to running out of it. I'm still rocking with it a little. This is the Becca Capri Coast Bronzer. I have all but destroyed it, and I rebought a new one this year because it's just a really good shade for me. Same thing about the ambient lighting, luminous bronze light, whatever, from Hourglass. I repurchased this year as well. So I've learned this year that I don't want to buy the types of bronzers I was buying before, and the types I were buying before were too matte and too dark, too red. It doesn't look good on me. It's too much work to blend it out. It's not the vibe. And I don't have any particular bronzers I'm really like checking for. There's just a couple that I'm kind of thinking of. The Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer. Every time I'm in Sephora and I swatch that bronzer, I'm shocked by how nice it is. Like the undertone is perfect. It's just very real looking. It's not too orange. It's not too red. It's got a hint of a pink undertone to it, which is pretty close to like what my skin pulls for when it's burned. It's a little bit more of a pink, kind of ruddy undertone. So I think that that would actually look like a pretty natural bronzer on me. Also the Bobbi Brown bronzers. She had some that I owned in the past. I had them in my makeup kit as well. I really liked them. And then I will probably pick up a new shade of the Fenty Sunstalker bronzer because I have one. It's just not right. It's too orange, too terracotta, and that's not for me. So new bronzers in general, that will be a slow and steady process. I am very happy with these two, don't get me wrong, but as I am able to buy new makeup and start slowly almost like redesigning my entire makeup collection, I'm sure you will see new bronzers come about. The next thing in the cheeks category is the Charlotte Tilbury Glow-Gasm palettes, or palette. I don't know if I'll get both. I don't think I can use both, but I started eyeing this thing back in like May or June, I think, when it first came out. I put it in a reacting to new makeup releases video, and generally I was saying that, you know what, if I wasn't on this no buy, I would totally crack for this thing. Say crack again. And a lot of you guys in the comments were like, don't do it, like it's not that great, it's not worth breaking the no buy, don't do it, this, that, and the third. I didn't do it, but the no buy is fixing to be over, and here we are like 6 months later and I still want it, you know. So like, that's just the way I am with Charlotte Tilbury. I love her. I love everything she puts out. I'm a sucker for it. And when in keeping with this like glowy skin thing I'm into right now, I feel like these powders aren't going to be blinding, but that's not what I want. I want to glow. And I love cheek palettes. I do. As much as I naysay palettes all the time, cheek palettes do kind of get me. Last thing in cheeks, the Cover FX monochromatic blush and bronzer duos. I kind of slept on these completely. I didn't even know they came out. And then I was once again on Sephora perusing the situation, and these caught my eye for a couple of reasons. Number one, I want to get a little more adventurous with my lip and cheek colors. I feel like I tend to go very nude, very beige, very neutral. And while I do like that look, I just want to try some new things. So some new blush shades are not something I'm opposed to, but also what I really like about these is I like the idea that you're getting a matte one and a shimmery complementary color of that blush. So you can kind of mix them together on your brush and get the type of finish from the blush you are looking for. That really appeals to me. And they also have a bronzer version of this, which I like a lot as well, because as most of you know, I tend to mix a more matte with a more glowy bronzer together when I do my bronzer. And I like the idea of it being in one compact. That'd be really ideal to travel with. And I don't know, man, it's just like, I like that stuff, okay? I love it, okay? Eyes. Now onto eyes. The first thing I have written down is I want to find my dream lash. Damn it. I have kind of been doing this all year. I've been a little more into lashes and trying to find a good lash because that was one of the things that was not affected by the no buy. I have to buy lashes as they must be thrown out. Now I feel like in the past, I really wanted thicker, longer, more dense lashes. And now I don't know if I'll ever stop loving a bossy lash because like I said yesterday, I did individuals and in person, they're beautiful. I totally get why people love them so much. But on camera with my particular eyes, my eyes just looked really squinty and small and tired. And something about a lash on me, it just lifts them, opens them up, makes them look bigger and brighter. And that's just the vibe I'm into. I want to get into natural makeup. I do. But I don't know. I feel like you have to find your style. And maybe my style in makeup is like a very natural skin, like a glowy, like see-through glass skin, but a crazy ass smoky eye on top. I kind of like the juxtaposition of those two styles of makeup together a lot. But anyway, I digress. Long story short, I don't know if the individuals are going to fly for filming. In person, once again, love them. We'll probably only ever do them when I'm going to wear makeup in real life. But today, actually, I'm wearing the House of Lashes Iconic Light. I picked them up at Ulta the other day because, once again, on the hunt. And I think I do really like these. I also picked up these Eylure Luxe Silk Lashes. They're actually a lot thicker than what I'm looking for a regular basis, but maybe with a smoky eye, they'd be nice. I don't know. I guess what I'm getting at is I'm going to really like hit the ground running and trying to find a good, like my perfect lash. Wish me luck. Number 2 in the eyes category, the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize Cream Eyeshadows. This and the next item are sort of out of necessity. My cream shadows that I have in my collection are dead and or dying. Like they're drying out, they're turning. I gotta replace them. And Charlotte Tilbury, 100th time, like I just want to buy everything she makes. I'm sorry. Okay, don't judge me. On top of that, I've heard nothing but rave reviews about the formulas and the color choices. I like the idea of being able to throw a cream shadow all over the lid, kind of blend it out a little bit, easy peasy lemon squeezy throughout like my real life, regular kind of everyday makeup style. The next thing on the list is the Laura Mercier caviar sticks. It's very much like these two are basically just the same thing to me. The caviar sticks in particular seem like a really good option to just create really like smudgy, kind of lived in smoky eyes, which I really like. So cream shadows in general, but those are the two formulas and types of cream shadow that I am most interested in right here, right now. This one's a little, I don't know. Can't believe I'm about to say it. But I'll pose a question before I say this. What has two thumbs and has done nothing but talk massive shit about overpriced Natasha Denona palettes all year and is now coming around and saying that she in fact wants one? This girl. Yeah, man. I want the Biba palette, and I know it's just a neutral palette, but that's what I want it for. I'm really just looking for a palette that can go the distance. And if memory serves, one of the main selling points for Natasha Denona's shadows and the palettes as a whole is that there's so much product in it. And like, for example, I've been using the Jaclyn Hill palette all year, and clearly there are shades that I favor and they're almost gone. It's like when they're gone, I have to repurchase this thing because they're the shades I reach for the most. And I would like something with a little more product so that repurchasing it frequently isn't so much of a necessity. But also, I feel like the tones of the Natasha Denona palette are ones I would get more use out of. Once again, this palette, these big, massive Morphe palettes, I think I'm just done with them because I have tons of them and I never use them. These colors are nice, they're pretty, but they're not calling to me as much as they should for me to keep something like this in my rotation. And the Natasha Denona Biba? Why do I keep wanting to say Bieber, like Justin Bieber? The Biba palette looks like something I would actually get a lot of use out of. The next palettes, don't judge me, okay? All right? So slow your roll before you roll it over here. I don't know. Anyway, I want Tom Ford and Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow quads. Here's why. These are the only two of these palettes that I own. This is the Tom Ford Cocoa Mirage palette. I'm wearing pretty much only this today, except for the color on my lid came from this one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Dolce Vita palette. I also pull for this all the time. I love these palettes, man. I know, once again, that the trend is the big, massive palettes, but I would much rather pay for a smaller palette, A, because it's quicker and easier to use, and B, these eyeshadows blend like a friggin' dream. They blend them damn selves. Like, this eye look took me no time at all to do, and I love the blend I got and how quickly I got it. And it's because these shadows have like the teeniest little bit of shimmer in them, or they're more like a satin finish, so they automatically just blend a little better, and I really like that. I don't like a super matte eye. I think it's really dry looking, and it's not the vibe. And particularly with Charlotte's shadows, like the more shimmery colors that are intended to be shimmery in this palette, which are these two, and I've said this before, like when I very first got this palette, started talking about it, they're beautiful and like an expensive looking, like, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm not trying to say that the only makeup that's worth buying or the only makeup that one should buy or the only makeup that could give me this effect is expensive makeup. I just know what I've been working with and what I've been enjoying. Plus, I kind of had this mentality where while I do want to condense my makeup collection a lot, I want every single solitary thing in that collection that when I pick it up, I'm just like, ugh. Like, I just want to love everything in there. I want to love the packaging. I want to love the components. I want to love the color choices. I want to love the formula. I just want to luxuriate in my collection. I want makeup to feel more like a luxury, something I get to do for myself because I enjoy it and not this chore of sifting through huge palettes. And I don't know, I'm making it sound like eyeshadow palettes are way more cumbersome than they really are. This is just, once again, I spent a whole year not buying makeup, and the point of it was to learn more about what I like and what I don't. All of that being said, these are the types of products and items that I'm eyeing right now. I don't think any of this is coming into my house until January because I really want to stick with what I said, go the whole year. It's torture right now for me. In fact, I think I need to redo my capsule for this month. So the rest of November, December, I might do another capsule video showing what I want to work with more and pare it down a lot. So if you guys would be interested in that, let me see some thumbs up and some comments down below, and I will get that together. I have a lot of cool stuff coming I'm super excited about. And once again, if the lighting and this whole setup right now is super awkward, I'm just figuring it out. I'm tired of the studio lights. I've said it before. So anyway, as always, thank you so much to the patrons. November content just went live. December content is coming out around the 1st of December. And I think for the month of December, I am doing my first ever vlog, which I'm really excited about and also very nervous because my life is super boring. So I don't know how I'll make it interesting at all, but I'll figure it out. And then I think we're doing a super in-depth, very wearable, extra kind of bonus fun holiday tutorial over there for December. The live streams are coming, like there's cool stuff coming. And then the War Paint podcast. I almost didn't get that out because I'm super tongue-tied. The War Paint podcast is coming out this month. I've been a little reluctant to say the date because we're having a couple of technical difficulties with it, but I should be able to announce the date in the next week or so. We'll see. Don't forget to join the War Paint Facebook group. It's just tons of shameless self-promotion at the end of this video, isn't it? I'm sorry. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I will catch you in the next one. Check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms. And I will catch you in the next one. Did I already say that? I don't know. Bye!